Hey friends, welcome to Social Videos. My name is Joan, and today we'll be making our very own mini Christmas trees. Wait, ready? So the holidays are almost upon us. How could it be the holiday season without doing a holiday themed DIY? So this little guy here is inspired by a trend I saw on TikTok of making mini Christmas trees with pipe cleaners. It is the perfect piece of room decor to have to put you in a little bit of a holiday spirit. And honestly, it's probably on the easier side of DIYs, which is amazing. And of course, as you do a Christmas tree, you can get creative with it too. So I'll also be showing how to make these little mini candy canes that you can hang on, and also a star topper. Anyways, enough yapping, let's get to making our mini Christmas trees. So for materials, you're gonna need a hot glue gun, some pipe cleaners, cardstock paper, and an optional base for your tree. So the first thing we're going to want to do is make a base structure for our tree. So you can do this in various ways, as long as you end up with a cone shape that's going to be the shape of your tree. So for this I tried two ways. One was making a curved piece of paper and curling it up, or just making a square and then rolling it up into a cone, which I found to be the most favorable option for me. And now once you have your paper cut, we're going to just hot glue everything together. We're going to need a cone that has a flat base, so I'm going to cut off the excess on the open end and just kind of line everything up just to make sure it's cut down straight. And we should have a nice open-ended cone that can stand up by itself pointing up. With our base structure finished, we can then move on to preparing our pipe cleaners. Take my pipe cleaners, I'm going to fold them in half, cut them in half, and then fold them in half again and cut them in half once again to make quarter pieces. When you're folding your pipe cleaners, make sure you line the ends up so we have evenly sized pieces. Our next step is then folding our pieces. So taking one, I'm just going to fold it in half, line up the ends, and I'm not going to crease the tip too hard, just a nice rounded edge so it gives the tree a bit more of a fluffier, fuller look. It may also be helpful to make sure your ends are just side by side, not crossed over each other so they can lay flat. It'll help with the gluing later. And I'm basically just going to make a bunch of these until I think I have enough to cover my cone base structure. Don't worry though, you can always make more. Now it's time to get started on hot gluing our pipe cleaners onto our base. So I'm going to do a small little line of hot glue and then basically put on each piece of pipe cleaner, and I want to make sure to hold it down to make sure that it's actually sticking to the paper. It's good to take your time with it to just make sure that everything is aligned. You want to make sure everything is pointing downwards and not lopsided so that everything can stack together with no holes. It's also important to only hot glue section by section so that you avoid the hot glue cooling before you can put your pipe cleaners on. And with that, we have our first layer along the base of the tree, and I'm going to gently fold the tips of the pipe cleaner ends up to give it the Christmas tree look. Don't fold it too much, otherwise it looks a bit too unnatural and it might show off the bottom of the tree. And moving on to the next layer for the spacing, I'm just going to make sure that my next set of pipe cleaners, the tip is still over the leaves of the first layer I put on, just so that when we fold it back, it's not going to expose the blue base. And then I'm just going to work section by section and put on my pipe cleaner pieces. And with that, we are done our second layer of our tree. Don't worry too much if the pipe cleaners aren't really even. It kind of gives it off a more natural look that way anyways, and we can always go back and fix some stuff if it's folding or if it's filling in any holes. Just trust the process, that's always what I like to say. And now I'm on to my last layer for my Christmas tree, and I'm just filling up the top of the cone and slightly overlapping the green to ensure that no blue is showing, and then it gives me a nice finished Christmas tree. Feel free to fill in any bald spots as well with some extra pipe cleaner. I'm now going to show my process on making my star Christmas tree topper. So first I'm just going to take some yellow pipe cleaner and kind of fold in loops a 5-pointed star. So here I am just curving my loops and then going to the opposite end and curving a few more until I get my 5 ends. And I'm just going to round off the ends and squish them together to make sure that the yellow pipe cleaner is filled in. And lastly, I'm going to take my excess pipe cleaner and just wrap it around the middle to secure everything in place. And with that, we're ready to hot glue our star onto the top of our Christmas tree. Now for some extra decoration, I'm going to put in some candy canes as well. So I'm choosing this white and blue color scheme. Feel free to change it with whatever fits your aesthetic. But I'm just going to loop the white pipe cleaner around my blue one until it gives off the twisted candy cane effect. I'm going to curve it to make it into the proper shape, cut off any excess, and there you go. To add in one last detail, I'm also going to add what I guess you could call snow or just other little beads of decoration. So I'm just going to take some white pipe cleaner, curl it up into a swirled ball, and just glue it onto the tips of my Christmas tree leaves. You can also do this with beads or charms or even pearls, as I think it adds a nice little bit of extra decoration. I also originally planned to put this on a base, which I didn't end up doing, but you can if you want to. You can also put some sort of stick in the middle to put it on your base, but with that, you have your very own Christmas tree. Also, if you have fairy lights, that's an excellent way to light up your tree. And that's basically how you make a mini pipe cleaner Christmas tree. I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!